go. Well, let us load ourselves a ROM. There's the friendly C bias. It's a bit louder in my headphones than I was expecting. Hang on, I want to... There. I didn't see what Zayman was. I think he's a fighter. Keep missing it. I really like the brick smashing introduction here. I think that's a pretty cool addition in this version. Ready to be dazzled by the Drazzle family? They're a pretty cool family. Oh, here's everybody's favorite monster, Pochi. Let's just look at one of the demos. So I think in the NES version it was just sort of random inputs. Looks like it's about the same here. Well, I can check what Zayman is. Warrior. Zayman is a warrior. I'm trying to get my headphone to hang on my shirt here, but I should get a clip or something. Anyway, let's get in there. Ooh, that ringing sound. So we want to talk to Grandpa, but there's no entry interface here, so I think I have to do it with the keyboard. I had to look up a keyboard mapping. Okay, the keyboard is not mapped like I expected. So this is not the MSX keyboard mapping, I guess. Can I... Oh, I can't do anything with this. So that gives me Ta. No, I was expecting that to be Tsu. So this... Hang on, 1 Ka. I, U, A, O. A, Ka, Sa, Ta. Okay, getting a handle on it. And then, so 6. This will be Na, Ni, Nu, Ne, No. Okay, now I know how it's actually in a grid. Okay. I just don't know. Na, Ha, Ma. Okay, so I think I can maybe enter the password. So... Okay, there we are. Wow. Te... Ki... New... Okay, so... This is a little bit of extra effort, I guess, to enter this. Because I'm typing this on, like, regular English letter keys and trying to figure out what corresponds to what. So I think Na was up here. So no. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There. Ma. Where was Ma? No, that's Ta. Ha. Oh, there it is. So I have a backup. If this doesn't work, I've got a save state, but I want to do the authentic password thing if I can. Sue. No. Oh, this is the... There. Sometimes the keys don't seem to press, which is kind of weird. Throwing an extra wrench into this. So ta, to, where are we here? Ne, te, ooh, where's, she, ko. Okay. Halfway done here. E, new, key, no. Ah, that's ha, okay. Oops. There we go. And we need na, which I think is here on 6. So what it is like a, I, U, A, O is on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and na, ni, nu, ne, no is on 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then kind of extends down from there in groups of 5. If anyone is wondering what I'm trying to deal with, but... And sometimes when I press the key, nothing happens. K... Ma. Okay. And then we have K... Oh, no, that's Ko. New... Te... No. Oh, I'm on the wrong row. And then another na that I had to press twice, and then se to e. Se to e. So that should be a password. What did I miss? That sounded wrong. Masu ta to te fu shiko hine hina. Oh, no, I've got a ma instead of a ha there. Where's the ha row? There. Okay, this should be it. It worked! Okay. We're doing it without save state. Now, I gotta remember... What were we up to? I wanted to do Mayna's dungeon next, I think. Or Maya. Her name's Maya in this version. Maya the wizard. She's the direct descendant of the wizard, as far as I know. Unlike Zayman. Zayman's just her husband, Zayman Wartson. So I think we want these 3 things with her. It's funny that she can use the high jump boots, because she's got wings. She can just fly. Are the crowns in different places? No. I think all the crowns are pretty much where they were. There's a whole lot more teleports, which is going to be interesting. The shield you get a little bit differently. You get it with Royas. His name is Royas and not Roas. There's a Y in the middle in this version. And there have been some differences in the rooms, but I think the majority of the game is exactly the same. There's a few more music tracks. Pochi got a whole new music track, which I would say all the music is improved, even though the MSX has kind of less capability than the NES sound chip. There's just more music, and it's well written, so it sounds quite nice. Like all the bosses have variations on the boss theme now, instead of there just being one boss theme, which I thought was really cool. And a surprising amount of damage here. Okay. Here we go. This is Pochi's theme. But we'll hear a bit more of that. I'm doing Pochi last. That's my plan. So we'll get to Pochi. Hi there, Dwarven Dad. How's it going? So those are some nice bubsies. Don't want to drink this poison. Feel like maybe I should go stay at that inn. I'll have another opportunity before long, though, I think. So yeah, mostly the same game. A lot of stuff is exactly the same. Colors are a little bit different everywhere. Most of the sprite art is identical. Some of it is slightly changed. Like, here's the difference. So this is the room with the crown, where we're kind of headed. But instead of there being a pillar, there is now, they've made it an invisible pillar, which you have to touch to make solid, so the enemies actually come through it and attack you until you touch it. But otherwise, like, this room looks pretty much the same, as far as I can tell. But there's a few, like, small differences like that. And then there's a few rooms that are just completely remade. But something really weird to me is that I was expecting, like, some of the really problematic rooms, like where you could soft lock yourself, to be remade, and as far as I can tell, no effort was made to do that. So here you'll see, like, there's a princess portrait down here. There was not one there before. So I imagine the hunt for the sword is going to be very different in this one. Is it updated? Yeah, well, this was the last version of it made. So the MSX and Famicom ones were pretty much the same, and then MSX2, I think it's only a few months later they released this, but they decided to make some changes. Not sure exactly what the justification was, but I guess they were doing another run and decided to do some stuff. Okay, now I'm really wishing I had visited an inn. So there's another princess teleport. And Lil's area is, like, completely redone. And actually it's a way that works, I think, better for the MSX version, since it doesn't scroll. How would someone know which version they have? I don't know. I don't know how the MSX2 version was packaged differently. Okay, so this should be a crystal ball. And I thought that shop was going to be an inn, so now I'm fearful. But they redid Lil's area to have kind of like vertical columns instead of so many open areas, which is kind of interesting. And I think it works well with the MSX version not having free scrolling like the NES version. But I think overall the NES version is nicer. Like there's a bunch of slowdown and stuff like that. Aside from the music, like the extra music. Ooh. Oh, this is such a useless shop. That was a bad idea. Okay. Give me bread, please. Trying to hang on by a thread here. And no, I can't get back this way. I have to go all the way back around. Or do I? Yeah, I do. Oh, these are... I'm out of magic! Oh no. I think I'm doomed here. Very likely doomed. If I can get through the bottom... Is it the bottom I want to go? Or is it the top? I think it's the bottom. I think the top just leads to like a peak hole, but... No, I'm dead. I think. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Well, we gotta do this again. So yeah, I'm not sure, because I couldn't see any marking on the title screen, but I think the title screen looks different for the MSX2 version. So I think you could tell by looking at it if you knew what you had, but... Death frame? I don't know, I wasn't looking too closely. I hadn't thought to look at what's going on with death, but... there is a really cool site called LDS4, and it's sort of recently made, maybe in the last year or so, but it's like an archive site dedicated to Legacy of the Wizard and Dragon Slayer 4. And they have a lot of information on the sprites and like everything that's different between versions. So I might recommend checking that out. Actually, I'll just link it. It's a really cool site. But here's a link to the site. It's got a ton of really interesting information. Did I type that wrong? I'm pretty sure that's the URL, but it's not showing for me right now. Let me just double check. Am I connected to the internet right now? I'm not dropping frames. Okay, for some reason, like... Oh, Google's not even working for me right now. Oh, there we go. Now it started going. So I don't know, maybe this was a browser problem or something, but yeah, anyhow, that site has a ton of really cool information. So if you're interested, I recommend reading there. But you can see, like, right on the start of that, you can see like the 4 different title screens. And the top right is this MSX2 version that we're playing. So you if you knew what you were looking at, you could know which version it is from the title screen. But if you bought it, I don't know how they would have distinguished. I assume the box would have had something that distinguishes the MSX2 versus MSX version. But who knows? Sometimes things like that, you'd never know at the time. Like, there were lots of games released that had multiple versions, and without, you know, declaring that they're different versions. But like, this was released, I believe, the same year, so it's not even like it would have been marketed as a remastering or something like that. I don't think so. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, the MSX2 box must say MSX2 on it, since it's. But from what I understand, the MSX one is pretty much the same as the Famicom version. But I haven't really dug too deep into it. Right now, I'm just playing this version because I know it's the different one, and I was very curious about it. Alright, I made it to this room, where there's a nice shop and an inn. Oh, I should actually... I'll need some gold to use the inn. So I can still just walk across this... Oh! Okay, so if you jump on it, it breaks. So, I think this had the Matic. But here it has the armor and the rod. That's interesting. So I guess anyone could get down here and get Mayna's rod. Simon's mustache is still here. His posture has... Well, I'm not sure if his posture has improved so much as... he's wearing like a suit of armor. Oh, this... I think that was bread before. So that was a magic potion. The inventory art is slightly different. Okay, I need some gold still. Still haven't picked any up. There we go. Like some of the items, you can see that they're different. We'll see the inventory screen in just a moment. But like, the shoes look a little different. This magic bottle isn't so round. The Dragon Slayer has a very different look to it. This Power Knuckle is a bit puffier. Stuff like that. There's a bunch of little subtle changes, but it's kind of funny, like, how much stuff is just exactly the same. So it just feels very arbitrary, like which things they decided to change or not. I don't know. Yeah, the added music, I definitely think is great. Like, all of the music they added for this is an improvement. So you have individual boss themes they all seem to be kind of a variation on the same one. Pochi has a theme that is better suited to his character, and that's great. What's this gonna be? Bread's good. Yeah, so there's no new Pochi theme. There's also an extra, I saw it referred to as a tea time theme, and I don't know where it appears. There might be a post-credit scene that was added to this. Yeah, a lot of the sprites are identical to how they were before. I don't remember the, like, ball in Maya's hair being quite like... I think Maya was slightly different. I think they've changed her hair and kind of changed that ball and the cut of her cape just slightly, but like if these enemies have changed, I don't know how they've changed, or they've changed in like very small ways that... Oh, okay. Magic refill. Like, this area is still very cruel. Like, you could fall into this area with any character. So there's another new princess teleport. I wonder if this is going to drop me down. So I imagine Royas is going to have to walk around a lot to get the Dragon Slayer. The shield is a lot easier to get. Sorry, just moving my windows around. I guess you could probably climb on an enemy to get up here. And then you could use the inn. And maybe have a chance of getting home. I wonder if this has the shortcut. Okay, it does have the special shop. This is going to be... Okay, so we got our special shop there. Before I use the inn, I want to check out... I want to see if the shortcut to this treasure chest is still there. I guess I'll just take the poison. Shortcut's gone. Oh, wow. Now... The thing is, I have all the items in the inventory, so I don't really need to check any of the chests. But with no shortcut to this one, since they took out that shortcut, I don't know if I really want to try. Because I would need an inn in this room as well, I think. Well, I think we should give it a try. I mean, all I'm going to learn is what's in that chest, and I don't need anything in any chest at this point. Like, I have all the stuff I need to beat the game. Except the Dragon Slayer, but the Dragon Slayer is not in there. I know where the Dragon Slayer is. I have no idea how to get there. Oh, I already broke that. So I bet I need to get through here and then punch through the ceiling here. No, that is a couple rooms above this. There's another room with a billion doors and a chest at the end of it, and that one was tougher. Okay, so I need to be careful about this. I need to bop it, get out of the way. Keep it over here. And then I need to bop this one, get out of the way. There we go. Still no secret path. Oh, I was expecting a shortcut to the doors, but not getting one. Let's try flying along it just to... Nope. Nope. No respite. Okay, well... We're just walking. So this room shouldn't have the hidden enemies on the way. Oh, that's mean. That's mean. Just all the magic you used to get it, and it's just a magic pick-me-up. Well, whatever. We move on. Okay, so this room looks the same. Gonna fall through these, yeah. So this was bread before. Still is. Oh, is this another peek at the crown? Yeah. So once again we have this magic wall here instead of a real wall, so the enemies can get at you. I like that. I think that's a cool improvement to this room. Some of the rooms that are like just totally changed, I don't know that I think they're any better, but they're different. So I discovered that you can actually walk through here before, but it's not useful. It's just a trick. Okay, so we're in here. Not gonna mess around with that lion. I guess I am gonna mess around with that lion. Oh, I hate these enemies so much. Okay, that's a good drop. Oh. I think this has been extended. What? Oh, that's the way around. Ah! No, no, no! Okay. So I think that maze is very slightly different, but not appreciably so. It might actually be the same, I can't tell. The other thing is, there's like a weird overlap at the edges of screens. So when you're going between screens... Oh hey, lots of gold. Okay, that's nice to have. Is there a shop over here? Yeah. Such a useless shop. That's... okay, so... the shops in this version are way crueler. Like, most shops are 90 gold for, like, elixirs and magic. Or stuff like this. Like, this is... I don't know. So I've said it a couple times on this stream, but I think... as far as it goes... I think my favorite version is still going to be the NES version. But I think there's really only two versions of the game. Like, the MSX version is basically just the NES version without scrolling. And then this version, I think the added music is great. The changed rooms don't really... They aren't really adding anything for me. They're not bad. They're not worse. I think all these shops are kind of worse. But they're not improving it either, except for, like, maybe the art for the... There's a shortcut there. Okay, I think that's new. I don't think that shortcut was there in the NES version. But I'll have to check for it, because I might be wrong. Okay, I gotta watch my life. Got some nice bread here. Doors that do nothing. Here's a discount. They're only 70. I don't know. Yeah, so I don't like the shops in this version. But then again, like, the price for things in shops in this game, it only takes about 10 minutes to farm 100 gold in this game. So, in the grand scheme of things, the expense isn't really a problem. The main thing is just that if you were really stuck in one of these dungeons, I like that there's a path out of this inn here, but now there's a princess portrait, which means I guess Royas has to come here. I've not been keeping track of where all the teleports are, so this is going to be a real adventure finding the sword. What are we getting down here? Looks like nothing special. Oh. Okay, so this was a chest full of keys. Yes. Couldn't see it. It's always hidden behind that enemy. This is just a peek. Yeah. So we got the sleepy Kirby's. Actually, what's through here? Oh, okay, nothing. So now it's the sleepy Kirby room. This looks slightly different. I think the upper path led to a chest full of magic refill, which I don't really need, but... Oh! Are we getting nothing for this? Actually, that I could have seen. I could have seen that when I came up the ladder. That was my own fault. Do I fall through the floor here? No. Okay, so that's different. Okay, wait, what's over here? Oh, just nothing. Really shouldn't be poking around, there's not going to be anything, but... So here's a question, is the shortcut here? Yes, the shortcut's still here, but I think I want to take this in. Is that bread up there? In which case I don't really need to use the inn. Or, no, I should use the inn, my magic's getting low. Oh, it's a scroll. Well... Why are these ladders here? That's just... unnecessary. How are things going, James Ed Smith? Sorry, I didn't. I saw your back in the lab comment a while ago, but I forgot to acknowledge it. The innkeeper sprite. Now, someone yesterday said they thought he looks like a Koopa. I think I can see that. But, yeah, I think that's the same as the NES version. But the inn is a little bit different. Actually, one thing I really like about the inn here is that there's a little bit of moss at the top of the screen. And that's kind of neat. Though it is a little bit funny because I could swear the Famicom version of the game has Japanese text in the inn, whereas this MSX2 version, which is still Japanese, does not. It has English text. So this looks the same. I wonder what I'm gonna get in the shop here. The other thing is the MSX joystick only has 2 buttons, so I've got to use... Oh wow, you can buy the key rod here for 90. Yeah, such useless shops in this version. Well, they're not useless. I mean, if it's your first time through, you know, finding a critical item in a shop can be a huge boon, but it's just... A lot of, like, the mundane items are just so expensive, and I don't think there's justification for that. Alright, so there's probably a shortcut in here, like before. There it is. Alright, see you later, the Renaissance. I don't know if there will be another session. I'll probably finish it tonight. Unless the hunt for the sword is very extended, but I will definitely archive it so you can watch it at your leisure. I never know whether to say leisure or leisure. Okay, so there's the shortcut way through. So this was armor before. Now it's a ring. Ring in a chest. So there are things in chests here. That don't appear in a chest. Oh, I wanted to see how much damage that enemy does. Oh wait, no, I've got the ring. It's a ring in a chest, so I bet it has an extended duration, which actually makes it perfect for the next room, except I'm probably wasting it right now. Ooh. Fly over that enemy here. Okay, so here it is. This is the... maybe one of the most devilish rooms in the game. Or maybe the most devilish room in the game. I'm not sure. It's up there with the end of Saman's dungeon. Okay, so that did a ton of damage. It looks like they've cut out a lot of the doors here, so it's not going to be as many doors. Oh. Okay. Let's just fly back, and I guess we'll get started. We've got a lot of gold to use the inn, so... Wow. Okay. Ooh. So I need to catch it when it comes back. Okay. First step accomplished. So let's see how many invisible enemies that almost kill me are in here. So far none, and it seems like there's like half the number of doors. Okay, there's definitely one under that door there. They toned this way down. And it's only an elixir. Wow. Okay. So they really... Wait! These weren't here before. Now I need the elixir. But those were visible. I could see those on the way back. I didn't see them when I was going across. Why hadn't they spawned in? That was really curious. Very different, and not very devilish at all. I'm kind of disappointed in it, but it also only gave me an elixir. In the NES version, you got the jump boots. Oh, did the block kill them? Yeah, that makes sense. The block does not kill them. Or does it in the NES one? Maybe it does. Maybe it does, but you spend so much less time getting through the doors because there's like less than half the amount of doors. They really cut that down. So yeah, in the NES version you cannot get through all the doors without... Well, you could with enough keys. And enough magic, but you couldn't get through all the doors and then come back without an elixir to heal up, because the gauntlet of enemies does just enough damage, and it's forced because you can't attack them until you touch them. If you get across, you kind of get a free pass, because you can get in and then take less damage on the way out. Because across will get them while they're in the dormant form, but... Oh. Should have jumped. There we go. I really took damage from that? Wait, was there an enemy on the spikes? Is that an enemy right there? That's weird. That was well disguised, I guess. Might as well take my revenge. I don't see any more. There's one. Might as well wait out the poison, then use the inn again. Alright. Here we go. Oh, and it still has that thing. The NES version has that you can't use keys or your key staff until the block stops. Which I thought was curious. Okay, so these enemies, right. Oh, that reminds me of another, like, very small difference. In the NES version, there's enemies that can hide behind the background. And it makes use of an NES visual feature, like sprites can just be placed back there. But, okay, so is this in still? Well, I'm gonna come back to the inn. Why aren't you dying? Oh. But I don't think the MSX can actually place sprites behind things like that, behind the background. But it was tied to an enemy behavior where... Okay, so I cannot run out of magic. Got enough gold. This has more doors than before, I think. I'm gonna stop there. It's getting too risky. Because I need to get back and fly out. Oh, they're not gonna give me magic, they're gonna give me bread. Ooh, that was a bad risk. Made it though. Just barely. That was almost a death. Okay. So I think I need to keep the wings, or instead of wings I could take the high jump. Oh, I've got a shield! Definitely need that. Shield, elixir, wings? I feel like high jump would do me as well as wings, but I'm gonna keep wings just because it's Maya's thing. And... and then I'm going to use keys. So this is a dormant enemy, so I have to touch it and take damage. Those are annoying. I don't mind using all these keys, because I'm not going far here. Let's just try and get down here. Get Crowny. So here we get unique music for Archwinger. Alright. I just wanted to listen to a loop of that. So here we go. We've got the shield. Very important. Mena should be able to hit from a distance. Should probably have brought a magic potion instead of an elixir. Live and learn. I think I'm doing okay. Oh, okay. I'm broken through the upper crust of its damage meter. I'm surprised they didn't fix that. Like, did they not consider that a bug, that you can't see half of the boss's life? Oh no, I'm not doing good. I'm toast. Toast. So I need another magic. Well, that's unfortunate, because that was a long dungeon. That's why I didn't do her last. Well, away we go. Back into Mena's dungeon. Have a good night, Dwarven Dad. Oh, I gotta grab some gold. There's gonna be a gold chest in the dungeon, though. You know what? I think her dungeon is as long as Zayman's in this version, because Zayman's dungeon had... Or wait, no, I think the room that changed most significantly in there doesn't really make it faster. Never mind. Zayman's dungeon's probably still the longest, but I don't think it's by much in this version, is what I'm saying. Down, down, down. So getting into this shop is different. You use Royas to teleport, and you can do it with only two... only 2 crowns. I don't think you can use all the teleporters with only 2 crowns, but you can use some of them. I'm going back for that inn. I wasn't expecting to die at all in Mena's dungeon, but it's happened twice now. What happened to the first time? Oh, that's right, I went the wrong path through that little maze. Down, down, down. It's funny how she doesn't really get her own music until you get to this level. But on the way out, if you do go back through it, you do get to hear it throughout all the same rooms. And there's a reason for that. The reason for that being there's only one primary music in each of the rooms, but they could have given her one dedicated room to make that, to start that off. But they didn't. They didn't design around the music problem. So she gets the wrong music on your way into her dungeon, even though it would have the correct music coming back. Because the deal is, an area can have more than one possible music, but it can only be the initiator of one particular piece of music. So it's not tied to who you enter with, it's tied to... Okay, do I want this in? I know that shop's useless. My life's pretty good. My magic's... There's a magic chest down here anyway. Ugh. Wish I could zap this enemy without it damaging me. Oh, at least there's free bread at the end. There we go. No problem then, I guess. Jump over that one. Flub that. So this room has a key chest, I think? Okay, that's good to get. This is the magic chest, I think. No. This is nothing, isn't it? Or no. It's... Oh, it is magic. Okay, well, that's worth it. So wait, is there a third? I'm temporarily confused about how many rooms there are down here. Hi there, J-Rod. How's it going? Doing a little dragon slaying. So there's one more basement room, I think, to the right of this, with the key chest in it. I'm doing pretty good. Trying out a different version of a game I like. So I don't really need to use that in. And... I found out what was in this chest, but I don't remember. Wasn't anything particularly useful. Oh! Wait, was it an elixir? No. Elixir was the other similar room. It should be a crystal ball, but I've got one. Don't need another. I think I might need one more crystal ball in the game. Like, she's not getting out of this dungeon without killing the boss. So, we're not using it down here. Hochi's dungeon is so short. The only place I could need it would be for Roya's getting back with the Dragon Slayer. So, don't need it, I think is what I've determined here. Just go the wrong way. Oh, I hate these mages. I like how angry the lion looks after it wakes up. It must have been having a good dream. Okay, so there's a shop over here, but it's like every other shop in this version, pretty much useless if you know what you're doing, and kind of cruelly overpriced if you don't. So, we determined last time there was a shortcut in here, which I don't think exists in the NES version. There it is. Can't use it until my... there we go. So that saves a bit of magic. And a bit of time, maybe. Oh, I've got lots of magic. Probably should have wasted these enemies before going for it, but... bread, poison. Not the greatest trade. Okay, those are 70. Not tempted. Ooh, those did a lot of damage, eh? Well, there's an inn here. So we can go wild. Alright. Just walk through this one. Alright. On our way out. I don't think there's actually anything useful down there. So I'll just take the upper route here. Ah. There was poison in it. So behind that bag of gold was a bunch of keys. Which I don't need because I've got this. So this room was a little bit different. The upper path doesn't lead to anything. Before, I think the upper path led to a chest. Now it leads to nothing. But if it led to a chest, if I'm correct about that, that would mean that there was a chest somewhere else in this same room before. I'm not sure where it was. Okay, so I have a chance to go to an inn. I don't think I need to, though, because, like... in a room or two from here, I'll have an inn anyway. Only need the wings if you fall in. Oh, no. Okay, so what was in this room? I forget. Don't think there was anything particularly good in this treasure chest. I missed the shortcut. There's another shortcut though. So I guess we might as well grab... Oh, it's this! So I'm curious if that would last longer if I didn't go to the end, but I really need the magic, so not gonna find out. The NES version never had a ring. Oh no, it still lasts past the inn. Okay, so it doesn't last too long. Like, that definitively tells me that the ring doesn't really last longer if you get it from a chest. But I don't believe the NES version ever had a ring in a chest. It had the capability, but I don't think they... Oh no! I don't know if I'm getting out of here. Oh. Not enough. I'm dead. I didn't even need it. I was just getting it to get it. Okay, so this is still pretty cool, but that didn't have to go that way. I fumbled the item switch to the wing at the end and took like several hits from that one. I've got 2 elixirs. I don't need another one. I can't even use an elixir against this boss, and I don't need it because I've got the shield. That was a waste. That's what's in that treasure chest, an elixir. Oh, I guess I showed that because I did get it. But, okay, I should try and build up some gold here. Well, let's do Mina's Dungeon. This will be my 4th try for tonight. Hi there, Hungry. How's it going? I've been having a little trouble with Mina's Dungeon tonight, but I think I should get it this time. But I would have thought that the previous time and the previous time, so... And the previous time. All of these times, death was unexpected. But each time it was my fault. Each time I had an opportunity to resolve the problem and neglected it. Like this time I died going for a chest where I knew I didn't need what was in it. I was just doing it for fun. And in the end, it turned out to be not fun. At least I got the scroll here. That speeds it up. Here's something that might be fun to see. So here's the room with the the crown in it, but it's got an invisible... Oh, that was worth doing. It's got an invisible magic wall there now. Oh, I should be killing these enemies for their gold, because I'm gonna need it soon. These wizards are gonna come after me hard. The ring is well appreciated. Give me that gold. Okay. Feeling good about this room now. No, it plays very similar. A lot of the game is identical. Most of the game is identical. Some of the rooms have been redone, mostly in Lil's area. You won't see much different in Maya's area here. Oh, and Mayna's name is Maya now, and Roas's name is Royas instead. So this is just bread, I think, which I don't need because I'm going to... Oh no, it's a magic potion. Actually, that's good to have, even though I've got enough already. And there's no smooth scrolling, as you may have noticed, but it's still, rooms are 4 screens wide, which makes it a little more awkward. And that's part of why Lil's area is so different. They've divided it into 4 columns, so you kind of go through each column. And I think that works better with this kind of screen-locked approach. Maybe. Or at least it works fairly well with this screen-locked approach. I would say, like, the changes I've seen, I don't think actually improve it, except for the music. They change it. I don't think they made it worse. Except maybe the shops. All the shops are more expensive, it seems, which I don't think was the right change to make, but I don't know, that's what they did. It's not a big deal, but I think it would mean a lot more grinding if you need them, which is kind of mean in a game that's already mean enough. Take that because it's just bread. But it doesn't take that long to grind up a whole, like, to max out your gold anyway, so it's not a big deal. It's just weird to me that they did that, because I don't think it's an improvement. But the music is... So you've got 4 boss themes instead of just 1, which is really neat. Pochi's theme is really cool. I'm actually going to do Pochi next. Provided I don't just keep dying all night with Mayna here. And the hunt for the Dragon Slayer is going to be probably a big ordeal, because there's way more teleport locations. Oh, and the shield is way easier to get as well. You can't get the shield until you've beat 2 bosses, but some of the teleports start working at that point. And Royas can go get the shield. It's not, you don't get it with Lil in this one, which is a little interesting. But I don't think you really need the shield for the first 2 bosses. I think it's the 3rd boss where they start getting Cool. So going up there just goes to the room with the chest. It's another, or the room with the crown. It's just another peek at that, which don't really need. These cursed wizards. I'm just gonna take the poison. Doesn't matter. But it feels very similar. The other thing is the joystick only has 2 buttons on the MSX, so if I want to switch items, I have to hit Enter on the keyboard. Also, I can play with the keyboard. Like, I haven't figured out what the jump button is on the keyboard, but I can control the character with the keys. Which is kind of neat, but I'm not playing that way. So if you are playing that way, hitting enter for your item isn't a big deal. Here's a room that's changed a very small amount. They put in a little shortcut here. Oh, it's right here. There we go. Can't open doors until the block stops moving. That's the same as in the NES version. Okay, so this chest is full of magic, so what I'm gonna do is lure these slimes over here. Just wipe them out, then I'm gonna get the chest. Alright. Okay. Got another in here. So there's another new princess teleport. So I have no idea where they're going to go. I imagine I'm going to go all over this game searching for the sword. A whole bunch of keys and also another key. Guess that's acceptable. So this room doesn't have the trap floor in the middle here, like it did before. It still has the sleepy Kirby's, which I'm happy about. Just don't want to get rid of those. The upper path is just a dead end, which I thought led to a chest before, so now I'm wondering where the chest went. It might be on the left somewhere, but... Wait, where do I go? Oh, I have to go down to the bottom, don't I? So there must be a chest in this room, but I guess it's to the left, or I'm not quite sure. I'm going to check a map on that later if I remember, but it's just curious. So this room still has the inn to the right. It has a few extra ladders, but it has this shortcut still, so I'm going to take it. Do I want to grab the bread? I might as well. Oh, it's a scroll. Even better. Oh yeah, some of the items are in different places, but just because this game has so many ways to get every item, it's not a huge deal. They're still in, like, generally the same areas, I think, but they've been switched around a little bit. Oh, there it is. I don't know if it's worth fighting these enemies. Here we are. What was this? Oh, it's the ring. Right. I'm surprised by it every time. Okay, so let's wait for the ring to run off. It's kind of not a good place to get a ring anyway, because you can't get to the next room before it wears off, really. There. Just wanted to get that out of the way so I don't walk into it on my way to the end. So in this version, this chest has an elixir, and they've really toned down the difficulty of it. Still, I died to it once in this version, because I did something really silly by accident. But they've cut the number of doors in half. They've cut the damage way down that these enemies do. So in this version, that chest has an elixir, and I don't need an elixir, so I'm not going to get it. If I needed it, I would get it. Because it's, in theory, shouldn't be a challenge to get. I still made a mistake and died to it once, though, so I don't know. Maybe it's still pretty tough, but it's not nearly as tough as the NES version, in my opinion. Getting in that door, or getting that treasure chest. But the NES version has a really cool reward in it. However, well, I still won't tell you what that reward is. You'll have to look that up. But I would say, like, you knew your inventory was full, you weren't missing anything, so whatever it was, you must have just paid a bunch of money for. Alright, so we're entering the final room here. So 2 attempts ago, I died to Archwinger because I ran out of magic, because I didn't bring a magic potion with me. And I knew I should have, but I brought an elixir instead. Bad idea. Not used to using the shield. With the shield you need... Well, I would have had an elixir in place of magic, I guess. So this room I think has many more doors in it than in the NES version. So I'm just gonna go clear out as many as I can. Actually, I'm gonna leave myself 20 magic. And use keys on the rest. Before I head back. Last time I got back with like 2 health. It was... I'm not a fan of these enemies that you have to touch to be able to attack, but it does make for some interesting problems, so maybe I am a little bit of a fan of that, but it just feels a weird way to... It feels weird that some enemies are special in that way. So a question you were asking before, Hungry, is whether ladders are special, or whether some blocks are special. And the answer is no. All blocks are the same, all ladders are the same. The weird thing about ladders is just that you have to be basically pixel perfect to stand on a ladder. Maybe they're 2 pixels wide, I don't know, but something about that. So if you push against a wall, and the ladder's against the wall, really easy to align on it. If you're trying to jump on a ladder, it's really hard to land on that like 1 or 2 pixel margin. So let's get equipped. Shield, and then magic for backup. That's what I should have done last time, but... But yeah, I thought some ladders worked weirdly at first, but then I realized they were all consistent in that way. And then similarly, I thought some blocks had special behavior, but it's just I didn't know how blocks work. It's very... the blocks are just very counterintuitive. It's always about the last direction you pressed on the control pad while holding A. If you weren't holding A, the press doesn't count. I'm just gonna dive down and climb down. There we go. So here we get Archwinger. This has new music. They did not solve the problem where the boss health doesn't diminish. It still caps at 99, though they put it at the top of the screen now, which is kind of interesting. I guess it saves some sprites. I think MSX has less kind of sprite capability. But yeah, we get nice, a new boss tune for every boss, which is really cool. I think I really liked Tara Toon's music. There we go, finally broke through the 99 barrier. You can see that we're doing damage now. The shield changes this so much. Like my strategy was to bring, I think I brought 2 elixirs. And it was such a challenge trying to do enough damage before the fireballs took me down. You could fight back the fireballs, but when there's throwing so many at you, like it eats at your magic too. Wow, I think that did like 30 damage to me with like 2 hits. The other thing is they keep firing fireballs even as they're dying. I got double KO'd with Archwinger, I think 3 times. So the shield protects you against that, of course. But otherwise... Okay, so finally we got Main Knight. It's Pochi time! It's everybody's favorite show. Fly up here to Pochi's spot. I guess it's not solid, you can't stand on it. Alright, so here's the password. The password's in Japanese characters, but it took me a little bit of time to figure out how to enter this. Because you have to use keyboard entry for this. And my keyboard, well, I don't think it's even a standard Japanese keyboard layout, because I tried to look one up. But I figured it out. It has a pattern. If you know the Japanese letters, they're in like an alphabetical pattern. So it wasn't too hard, but it took a while to enter the password, I'll just say. But yeah, it's Pochi time. Oh wait, so you have a Pochi emote now. That's... I need to start using that. Or no, whose Pochi emote is that? Is that Shishi's? Wait, Hungry 45. Is that one of like the extended? Oh, it's a bit donation emote? Okay, okay. That might be better, because then I could get it permanently. We'll see. Alright, so what does Pochi want? I might as well just take the shield right off the bat. Shield magic elixir? I almost feel like 2 magic would be better. Wait, does Pochi have the same strength as Maina? Or Maya? Her name's Maya in this version, I keep forgetting. Her strength is 2. Pochi's strength is 3? I didn't think Pochi was that strong. Maybe he is, though. Maybe that's to compensate for his distance. Yeah, so I don't want to use the rod, because I'm going to be using the shield anyway. So now I get to see if my my hiding spot for fighting Rock Gaia is still there. Oh yeah, I forgot how much of a breeze it is playing as Pochi, because you don't have to worry about anything. We're gonna get to hear Pochi's music in just a moment, though. Get hyped for that. I left Pochi for last because it's the fastest to get to his boss. That was basically my rationale. I did that in my playthrough. So, my first playthrough, I think I did Pochi second. I found Mayna's boss first. And then I found Lil and Pochi's around the same time. And I think I did it with... No, I think I did Pochi second and then Lil third. And then I got to Zayman's dungeon, which I hadn't done, and it was such a long dungeon, and the boss killed me instantly. And... Or no, the boss killed me instantly twice. I think I did Zayman's dungeon twice. And then I decided that I should start the game over and do the easiest boss with Zayman instead. And that's what I did. I started the game over, but it was only about like 3 hours to replay everything I'd done before. And it was fun doing those things again, so I didn't really mind. Here's a difference. In this room, I learned that the bosses were always in the same order because I found Lil's and Pochi's at the same time. And I was having... Hang on. Did my camera just break or something happen? Looks like I'm still... okay. My computer just kept doing a thing. Looks like I dropped a few frames, but I think I'm still alive. What was I saying? In this room, like, this enemy would be behind the wall, and it wouldn't take damage until you touch it, which made Pochi's dungeon more dangerous to people who aren't Pochi. But I think being behind the background was an NES-specific hardware thing, and I think the MSX can't do that, so they took out that feature of having enemies that could hide behind the background. So it actually makes this room easier with the other characters. Because of that change, I think. Yeah, like it was just a forced amount of damage you had to take to get through this area with anybody but Pochi. I guess I can grab the bread. It's not like I'm coming back. Actually, I might be coming back. Depends on where the Dragon Slayer... No, I'll just use the crystal to get back from the Dragon Slayer. What am I thinking of? Oh yeah, and getting the shield is way easier. You just need 2 crowns, and then some of the teleports start working, but I don't think all of them. And you just teleport to where the shop is. Lil can't get in there anymore. So you have to go in there with Royas. Keep saying Royas? I'm not sure how I want to say that. But yeah, so I got to Zayman's dungeon and didn't want to practice the boss. Like, also no shield, so the bosses were a very different challenge. So I just didn't want to do a learning process with a boss that I had to spend an hour getting through a dungeon. I think I got Zayman's dungeon in about 40 minutes, like my last time I did it. Yes, that shop is the only place to get the shield. This room looks slightly different. So I think all the rooms have like a little duplication at every screen transition, so that when you touch the side, there's still like an extra tile in the way. Was this chest here before? A chest full of poison, that's amazing. Okay, so they used all the items in the chest in this. Like, you can find a ring in a chest, you can find a magic bottle in the chest. And I thought that was really interesting. So I just found potion in a chest. I didn't think they'd do it, but they did it. I'm surprised. Okay, so this room looks the same. Like, this is so deep in the dungeon, and they're still charging you 60. Most of them charge 90. It's really... The shop prices are inflated in this version. I don't like that. Yeah, I didn't know you could go up on the left. Okay, so I don't need to change my equipment at all. Because getting through here is a breeze. I can just climb on this Mimic, too. The other thing I didn't realize... Wait, do I go through here? I forget how to get through this room. Aha. So you can actually get through the ceiling here. So I didn't know that you could get into this room. Wait, is that a chest to grab, or is that a Mimic? Oh! That's where the key rod is. Okay, I was wondering where that was. Because where the key stick was previously, something else was in there this time. I forget what though. So a bunch of the items have moved around. There wasn't a chest there before. There was a chest in that room, but it was off to the left, and it was bread or magic, I think. Oh, there we are. Okay, so here we go. Let's put the shield on. And it's time to fight Rock Gaia. So my strategy with this boss... Oh, no. Please go away. was to get down here in this corner. Oop. Wow, he did a lot of damage to me. Hang on. This is not going well. Oof. Okay. I got him before he touched me. Alright. You can shoot down the projectiles. That was how I avoided them. But it eats up your magic. That's the tough part. I might have... Oh wait, Pochi can't use the Power Knuckle, I don't think. Alright. So that's all 4 crowns. It's now time to hunt this sword. And that's going to be different. Tete nene ma oh hi ma. So I like to imagine that Grandma is babbling at us. It makes more sounds in Japanese than it does in English, where it's just kind of letters and numbers. But it just seems kind of funny that way. Okay, so I'm gonna need this. Maybe I'll take an elixir for... Oh no, I need a crown. So there we go. So I don't know where to start looking first. Though I might as well show how to get the shield. Because it's actually super quick to get. It's this teleport right here. Or no, it's not that teleport. Sorry, it's this teleport right here. I forgot which one it was. So, the shop's here. There's a shield. That seems like a good price. I don't need another one, though. Yeah, so there's no block. You can't walk in here. And now getting out actually involves a similar secret where you bought the shop sign to get the princess portrait. And that gets you out. And that's it. That's all there is to that. So, what I'm dealing with now is there's now like 20 new princess portraits, and I have no idea which one's important. So, and he definitely can't... Lil's area is very different, and Royas definitely can't just like walk into it like before, so this will be interesting. Ah. So I don't think I can go... Oh, wait, maybe I can go this way. Yeah, I can just barely get around this way. But where does that let me go? Nowhere. Why did it let me go here? This doesn't go anywhere. Okay. So I could definitely use the teleport in Pochi's house. So maybe I'll head there. So, the thing is, like, in the NES version, most of the teleports were just kind of a red herring situation, so there was no need to go to any of them that didn't lead to the right place. Oh, this is hard to line up. Also, these screen transitions take much longer. Oh, I forgot how... So, stuff like this gets really irritating. I could have gone up there, but I think I would need a Matic in the next room anyway. So I gotta hold back to land here after opening that door. Oh no, I fell out. So my instinct says that the correct one is probably still in Lil's area. Wow. So I have to touch that door, then hold back to the right so that I don't fall out. I gotta stop using these spike boots. Okay, so I couldn't have gone left there. I don't know if there's anything useful this way. There's a teleport, but that probably goes nowhere like it went nowhere before. In this room I've been to before, it kind of sucks now. It was already not good, but it's worse. Guess I could use that in. But I think you can get into this room without the spring boots, and if you don't have them, you can't get out. There's actually an invisible wall just up here. I think with Lil... How did I get out of this room before? Actually, I'm not sure if I can get out of this room. Maybe if I ride on this creature. He can't jump as high with the spring boots, so I'm now uncertain about how to get out of this room with him. Because I can't get up here. I can't go this way. So I could use my crystal ball. So now I understand why that shop up there has a 30 GP crystal ball, but I can't use it as this character. Well, I can't buy it as this character, because I can't get up there. Let me jump off of one of you, and maybe I can get on the... So I'm kind of in a dead end right now, which I don't like. So I want to jump straight from here. Actually, that's curious. The enemy spawns right there. So if I could somehow land on it right there... Okay, this solves my problem. Just don't come back here. So normally that area is, I think, a trap which you're supposed to escape with a crystal ball if you don't have the spring boots, but you would be Lil in that case. As Royas, you don't have a way to get out without the crystal ball, and I didn't want to waste it because I want to use it after I get the sword, not before. And I didn't need to go there anyway. There wasn't a princess portrait. The first time I got the sword, I thought I would get out of there fine. Like coming back through Pochi's area. And I almost did, but I forgot how much damage the walking butts do in that white room. And I died. It was easy to get the sword a second time, like, it only takes a minute or two to get back there. So the second time I just used a crystal ball, but I was still in like frugal mode where I was used to always just walking back to home if I thought I could manage, because why waste items when you could be out there grinding for gold and stuff? But then I realized I was at the end of the game. Oh, you know what? I think I kept the crystal ball equipped for most of my playthrough. Until I started having... Or most of my early playthrough. Like, until I started having... Well, you know, there's one in the spiral. So I should go over there. I should probably also use this in. There's a princess portrait in the spiral. So yeah, it was just like a default item that I always kept on me while I was adventuring. I didn't really ever need to use it. Actually, no, I did end up using the crystal ball sort of intentionally, but I never needed to use it as kind of an escape for when things had gone wrong. Things either just went wrong too fast, or... I don't know. Let's see where this takes me. Ha! Oh! Okay. So we're on the right track. I just need to fall down. So you'll see this area is very different. So there's 4 shafts. I think I want to go down... Oh, wait. Okay, so this one's kind of cruel because you fall through that spike there. Is this the one? No. Okay. That's funny. Okay. I just forget which shaft connects to the... oh, I need to use that in. Or an in. Or maybe equip the spike shoes. That's a shop. Could really use an in. So this room is still pretty much the same. The volcano and the slimes, yada yada. I'm doing badly though. Okay, so... You want to help me here? Okay, so now I know the way to go. So it's the spiral. You go in through the spiral. That's curious. And... Suddenly I'm wondering if all the other... So there's like... There were a couple in Mayna's dungeon. There were a couple in Zayman's dungeon. Actually, I think a thing I didn't show is that, you know how there was a block blocking Zayman and Mayna's dungeon? The block is pulled out now, so anybody can walk in there. Which means Royas can go there from the beginning. Which kind of changed things. And so can Pochi. I don't know. I think that's interesting, like, especially because it gives Pochi access, because with Pochi, you can really scout around and, like, find out stuff, because you don't have to worry about much with him. So I think that's cool to have. So I like that this teleport just skips a minute there, but I can show you just over here. I mean, I did just describe it, but might as well see it. So here's the block. It's been pulled out. So anybody can get in there. So I have a feeling like a lot of them just go nowhere like they did in the NES one. Like you just try them until you hit on one that's correct. But I'm surprised that it's the spiral, because that's not very deep to find, you know? Like it's just over here. Yeah, you can get to more places with more characters this way, which I kind of like that. Wait, where was the spiral? Oh, the spiral is in the room I was just in. Do I want to... I'll just take it in. Yeah, it does kind of give you a better idea of who can do what from the beginning. To have that blocked off, I mean. But I kind of like the open-endedness of letting the other characters kind of dip their feet in the other dungeons a bit more. Okay, so this time we don't go the wrong way first. I don't need that in this time. Nice long fall. So yeah, so this area has 4 shafts instead of the whole thing. So yeah, I kind of feel similarly about most of the changes in this. Like where rooms are different, they're just different. I don't feel that they're exactly better. I guess that ship looks nicer, but most of the graphical changes I just feel are different and not better or worse. There we go. Is there an inn over here? Oh, there is. But it's sort of differently placed than before, but that's fine. The increased shop prices I do not like. I think that's worse. But not by much. It's not a big deal. The extra music is great. The lack of scrolling is, I definitely feel, is worse. Oh no. I have to unlock all of these. Okay, well, I'm glad I had a key supply. Now where are we? Okay, So next one should be just one room over. If I don't fall, that'd be terrible. Need another key. How many keys am I going to need to do this? Can't afford that poison now. I really liked the openness at the start, I would say. It took me a long time to find... Like, my first session, I did basically nothing. Except explore. Which... I liked. I liked exploring for a while. Kind of getting oriented. Trying to guess at who's going to have to go where. So I tended to do a bit of each person's dungeon. Okay, so the next one's in this room, I'm pretty certain. But so this room is a bit different. This room it had like a jagged floor. It was red. Lots of spikes, and a couple places you could fall through, but... Okay, so this wasn't too cruel. Oh no, that was... Oh... Okay, so they still had that. And I can't get out of here, of course, as I determined earlier. Okay. So... in the door in Zayman's area... I need to hang left again. I actually didn't get the Matic with Zayman. I got the Matic with Mayna. I bought it in her area. There's other ways to get the Matic as well. You can jump off a monster with Lil, and there's a Matic you can buy in her dungeon by doing that. There's a bunch of, like, ways that are trickier to get a lot of the things. There's a bunch of ways to do it by shop. I was surprised when after I finished it, when I started looking at the maps and realizing what was available in which shop and where you could really get with everybody, not just where I thought at first. Like, at first I thought, oh, I have to jump to that ladder, so only Lil can get in there, so that's Lil's area, obviously. And it was her area, but everybody can jump to that ladder. It's just harder for everybody else. Like, stuff like that. I started realizing, like, you could get to a lot of places with a lot of the characters. And that was kind of exciting to me. So, first step is the spiral. And then I go down the right-hand side, and I have to do the slime jump. The map's really neat to look at. Or you might try my editor, because that's like an interactive way to look at everything. I think the map has the shops written on it, or one of the maps does. There's a couple of different maps floating around, but I think the one you linked has the shops. Okay. So we're back here. So it just seems like the route is longer. I don't know how many more steps are going to be after this. I feel like it'll take me on a tour. I'll probably go through Pochi's dungeon. Is my editor able to output a playable game? Yeah, it just edits the ROM directly. Anything you can do in the editor, the game should still be playable. Otherwise, well, that might not be entirely true. It doesn't, like, prevent you from typing in wrong numbers, but as long as you... For the most part, what you see should be what you get. Looking at it. So before, jumping down here was a good way to respawn the enemies. Just as a tip to get over here. Like, jumping that hole does a quick respawn. But yeah, like, the editor lets you change anything you want in the game, pretty much. Except kind of the base engine things, like how things behave. Anything that's not code, you can edit. I think. Oh, I thought it was in the other area, not here. Ooh, I was scared for a second. I thought I'd forgotten to hold left, and then I started holding left, and thought I was going to fall when I realized I shouldn't be holding left. Oh, I seem to have an incoming raid. XX. I'll say hello in a moment. Okay. Oh, I desperately need this in. When did my life get so low? Whenever I do a raid, I realize like how awkward it is to jump in. Hi there, XX. Thank you very much for the raid. We're in the final stages of Dragon Slayer 4 for the MSX2. We're on the hunt for the titular Dragon Slayer, which is a sword. But yeah, I was saying, like, when I raid, I know it's always awkward, like, getting from your channel to... Okay, so I need to hang left here. Wait, why didn't I... Okay. There we go. Okay. That's also a hairy jump. Okay, so it's not going to be cruel here. Oh! Wait, did I just get the sword? Hang on. I'm gonna check my inventory. I've got the sword, right? Yeah, okay. So where does this take me? Now I'm just following the way out because I'm curious. But I could... Oh, I'd have to find an inn to switch the crystal ball. Yeah, well here it did it teleport me like right on top of it? So I could barely tell that I had grabbed it. Where are we going now? What? It took me back. What's the best way out of here? I think I have enough keys to climb out. You know what I think it was doing? I think it was trying to trick me. So I held up, and I think I was still holding up when I came out in Pochi's area. I think the way out is the other one in Pochi's area. I have to walk past a butt there. I think what I'm going to do is go out here, go down, and use the inn. And then crystal ball my way out. Oh, wow, these... I'm used to having mana for these wizards. Royas has less power. Oh no, poison. I need health bad. At least these wizards are slow. Oh, give me that. Oh, so I like grabbed it accidentally because I was moving out of the teleport? That makes sense. It's giving me poison. I guess my health and magic are above 30, so... it's just stressing me out having to wait. That's good to have. There we go. What do I need that gold for? I'm about to go dragon hunting. So I have a feeling what I was supposed to do is... so it teleports you next to that white room with the butts, and there's a princess portrait in there. Oh, I can't select weapon in the inn. There we go. There was a second teleport in Pochi's area, like, near the boss, if you go through, like, the secret area. So I think you were supposed to go down the ladder, get out through there. That's my guess. Okay, so this should be my final password. And I really shouldn't need anything but the sword, but... let's try sword shield armor just because it feels fun. Feels like it fits the theme. Now, I wish the sword did anything. It doesn't actually seem to improve your attack in the NES version, or change its icon. Oh, if I took a crown, I could get down there faster. Because this teleport nicely... I do like that about this teleport. It leads you straight to the dragon portrait. No, he's not any stronger with the sword. Actually, you can check your strength. Like when you click power knuckle, you can see it on this screen. Your changed strength, but... oh yeah, also you can climb eggs like a ladder, which is kind of funny. And here are the inns on the left side of the little thing. Actually, this, I think, is a good change, because it encourages you to go left. And I noticed both you and Chinese Hulk kind of ignored the left-hand side for a while. Which was a little weird to me, but it was interesting seeing two different people do that. Okay, so that's a better spot for entering the boss battle. Don't land on me, please. He has a name! Dilguios. That's interesting. Also, it's funny because the final boss has way less health than the third and fourth boss. Does this game have unintended mechanics? I don't know any unintended ones except there's a jump glitch where you can pause to jump. I never actually used that because I didn't really find that fun to bypass the design of the game that way, but a lot of people use that in speedruns I've seen. This is going to be a long battle. The other thing about this MSX2 version is there's a lot of slowdown. So in general, it plays a little bit clunkier. Like it feels like the same physics, but there's a bunch of slowdown. There's the lack of smooth scrolling. So for that reason alone, I think the NES version is a lot better to play. It just has better action that way. This version definitely has the better music. But it's only a little bit more music. It has a better title screen. If you haven't seen the title screen, check out the beginning of the recorded stream. The family, or the title kind of like breaks through the brick wall. It looks kind of cool. Wow, okay, this dragon is way harder to hit, I think. Do I want to hit it in the feet? I think you did like 4 damage at a time. I feel like I'm hitting it less. I also... Okay, so I can't pause. So like the NES version, it shows you the 3 items you have, but it doesn't let you pause. So you can't switch. But, like, literally my finger's getting tired from so much pressing the button. The one item I had the least use for was the armor. It's kind of cool, but because it eats up magic constantly when you're using it, it's like the wings in that respect. It might have been good for going through Pochi's dungeon, but you buy the armor in Pochi's dungeon. Or at least that's where I got it. You can also get it in Mayna's dungeon. Not in this one, though. In this one, you get the armor, I think, in Zayman's dungeon. In place of where the Matic is. I think that was the armor instead. So a few things were in surprising places for me playing this. Yeah, this... So yeah, you do less damage to the final boss here, and... it's not making it any more fun. I'll just say, this is... Oh, you can pause. Okay, but the pause is the key that normally goes to the inventory screen, rather than the pause to switch weapons. So escape does that. My hand is literally getting tired from depressing. Oh. Okay. I would actually say, well, this boss isn't too bad, but I would say that the bosses in this game are its one really weak point. Less so in this version because the shield is easier to get, but they were, for something that you put at the end of a long journey, I don't know, they were just far too cruel for me to feel it was appropriate. I still did it, and I still had fun. Because it was still fun journeying through the dungeons, it was okay. But that is one part where I feel it would have been better. They should do less damage. They should have hit meters that work. You know, all that stuff. Like, basically, if you just tone down the difficulty of the bosses significantly, I think they'd be perfectly fine. It's sort of... I don't know. Yeah, my experience with most of the bosses, like, after the first boss was fine. I think I got it in, like, 2 attempts. And it wasn't... It was in Mayna's dungeon, so... And second boss, I didn't have too much trouble with. I had some trouble with the second boss the first time, but... But once it was down to, like, Rock Guy at the end of Zayman's dungeon, like, I was just getting one hit killed by the boss, and I still didn't know what to do about projectiles at that time. Like, there's just so many things you have to learn, and if you die too fast to learn anything, and then have to spend an hour getting back to it, it's just not good. It's too mean. And they're all way meaner than this boss, which is the final boss, which you don't have to spend much time getting to at all. So if you were going to put a really cruel boss that kills you instantly, you could have done it here. Not that I think you should. I think this is not an inappropriate level of ease, but if they were here instead, that would have been nicer. Anyhow, still working on it. Six more hits. The problem is I'm just not hitting very much. I guess when it's... There we go. Yeah, you have to shoot down the boss's projectiles if you don't have the shield. Especially as they're dying, you have to shoot them down. So Mayna's name is now Maya. Roas is now Royas. So I'm very curious, there might be an extra scene at the end of the credits. I'm not sure. Oh, here's the name of the King Dragon. Okay. I really liked Taratune's... Taratune's? I like their boss music. Or maybe it was Erebone. Was it Erebone that had that? It was probably Erebone. Or is it Erebone? They look kind of like Latin names a little bit. Yeah, every boss has its own music in this one, which is really cool. So I think Taratunes has the same as before, and the other three are new. And it's really cool. Pochi has new music. Was one called Roid Moon? I didn't see it. Memes! This game has memes. I wonder which one that is. Flail Snail, that's one of my favorites. And it's really good because they have like 4 eyes, so their eyes are kind of like a flail. I wonder if this one will say Quintet, like the Famicom one does. And I really like this font with like that hanging descender on the H. Has a really nice look to it. Yeah, the Famicom version says Quintet at the end, and it's funny because I don't think it has anything to do with the company Quintet, other than Yuzo Koshiro did some of the music for it. But the Quintet didn't exist at the time, as far as I know. So people always wondered if, like, did the Quintet team exist, and did they make this game? But it's just... I think the word quintet was supposed to refer to the family or something like that. I was reading something about it, but I can't remember all the details. Roid Moon was the knight that looked kind of like Shovel Knight? Oh. Dragon Slayer Famery Quintet. Famery, that's interesting. No produce. Yeah, did it? Was it missing produce? I don't think I have to press anything. Okay. So there is an extra scene. So this is cool. So this is an extra post-credit scene. This was described in the soundtrack as the tea time music. I wonder if they'll have tea at the end. What's Maya doing in there? How would Royas get there? That's not his place. So it's kind of neat that reminds me of like the ending of Star Tropics where it showed you like scenes from your adventure, but at the same time, hey look, everything's maxed out. 99 of everything. At the same time, a lot of these are things I did not do with that character. Yeah. The LSD4 site. Maybe I could grab that link again. But this is a great site. Well, Star Tropics, no, it showed hand-drawn scenes of like you beating the bosses and stuff. So I don't think it showed anything actual game scenes like this. But it just kind of reminds me of that approach to an ending where here's a recap slideshow. But yeah, anything you want to know about the games, that site is great. It has a lot of information. I think it could use some information about the English names for things, but like its maintainer is Japanese. But the only thing where I noticed that made a difference is there's a character called Sam Bohanna, which is not named that in the credits, but is in the manual. I think that site is taking the approach that the manual is not canon, the English manual. So it doesn't mention the name Mena instead of Maya. It doesn't mention Roas instead of Royas. And Sam Bohanna is just called Dart. I didn't even go to that inn, I don't think. Oh, Pochi's attack is the same as the boss's attack. I'm realizing it's like a circle with a ball in the middle. Except it has much less range. I wonder how long this goes on for. Or is it infinite? It'd be funny if it's just random, but it doesn't seem random. Like the demo sequence at the beginning of the game, or like on the title screen, that's random, as far as I could tell. Like there's no recorded movement, it just sort of has an erratic pattern. And it literally just uses the random number generator to pick a place to start and a character and a room in the dungeon. Originally, when I was making my editor, I was worried about that because I was thinking if you had like recorded playthrough data somewhere in there, that means they have to kind of expose that, because if you edit the rooms, obviously the recording wouldn't work anymore. But turned out it wasn't a problem. They just move randomly. Oh, this shop. I think that shop had something useful in it in this version. I forget what it was, though. That might have been where I found the Matic. I don't remember what that shop was. How much more of this is going to be? This has gone on for a while. This room again? Why would it be this room again? This has to be random. Like, can somebody possibly have designed this? It is a nice song, and it's a song you don't get in the NES version. But look at this. Like, this isn't highlights. This is just like random. Okay, I think this game's just in a loop now. Okay, so I guess I'm done with this game now. I'm gonna raid someone in just a moment. I've been holding it and I really gotta go to the bathroom, so I'm gonna come back and then I'll find somebody to raid. Please stick with me. To find, we'll roll on to somebody else in a moment. Okay, just a moment. They're missing the cute portrait at the end? Was there a cute portrait? And wait, did we not have the scene where the family crawls out of the dungeon and walks over to the house? Before the credits? Did we miss that? I guess we did. I didn't realize. So yeah, this is clearly just gonna go forever, I guess. I could show you the title screen though, because it's neat. So there's Salmon in his Battle Kid outfit. And Maya. Yeah, everybody gets portraits. And Pochi gets a little extra. Oh, I like that they bow. That was a nice little bow. And I like that you get to see dog form of Pochi bouncing along there. That's really good. Anyway, so that's the different intro. Otherwise, the rest of it is pretty similar. Warrior, Wizard, Ranger thing. Yeah, it does kind of make up a little bit for not seeing them at the end. The portraits are really nice. I like how the sword is actually a different color. Like the metal logo that's shining, that looks nicer than it did on the Famicom version. Yeah, XX. I often see this game described as an RPG, and I wonder about it, because, like, I wouldn't really want to call this an RPG. It's got some elements that I think kind of belong in an RPG, but it's got a lot that doesn't. But also, it's part of a series where some of the other entries are very much more like your typical RPG, so it's hard to say. Like I don't know. I really love the ship in this version. This like wooden ship idea is really cool. Okay, so let's find out who's streaming. Puzzle platformer Metroid-like. It is a bit like Metroid, I'd agree.